so much for joining me on Being Indispensable. My name's Liz Van Vliet. We're all dispensable. I know that better than anyone. I'm a breast cancer survivor. But that doesn't mean that we can't invest in ourselves to improve the skills and capabilities that are going to help us stand out and be perceived as indispensable. Being indispensable is also about the being side of the equation. Because if we're not looking after ourselves and our own well-being, then we have no hope of showing up as indispensable in the workplace. Hello, lovely listeners. This is Liz. I don't even know exactly what episode I'm up to. This is a road rambling, and I've got my ranty pants on behalf of women everywhere. Just checking in to say hi and talk about something that I think as women we all experience. So, I have just departed a car park in the centre of Sydney, and as I was awaiting the lift down to the car park, the lift door opens and a man is standing in the lift, blocking the doorway, simply staring at the panel. Staring. Blocking the door, not making any attempt to move out of the way for myself and another lady that was standing there. And you know that I consider myself quite an assertive person, and I am not backwards in coming forwards, as we say in Australia. But I was actually taken aback by the sheer entitled behaviour of this man, who literally, if he had stood there for one more second, the lift doors probably would have closed and the lady and I would have been left standing there. I think probably because he was, I am assuming, wondering where he should get out, whether it was at the ground or some other level. But the fact that he did not even make eye contact with us and attempt to hurry up or move out of the way, or even just extend his arm to stop the lift doors from closing. Anyway, this sort of felt like it happened over the course of a few minutes, but in actual fact it probably would have been maybe 20 seconds. And then he just departs the lift, and the lady and I get in the lift. And as we got in, the lift door closed, and it was the other lady that actually said to me, and this is so Australian that we would have had this conversation in the lift. She just looks at me and she goes, "I'm sorry." She goes, "How rude was that?" And I laughed and I said, "Oh my goodness, I'm so glad you said that, because I was in shock at his behaviour." And she said, "Yes," she said, "how's that for entitled male behaviour? Women, not to, yes, I'm going to generalise here, but women would never do that. We would probably apologise for holding somebody up, but at the very least, we would have shown some social skills of looking up and looking at the people waiting to get into the lift." He did not do any of that. And so the lady and I then had a conversation as the lift descended to the car park about how different men and women are. And so that's my ramble, my rant for today. How bizarre are men? And I know I have some men listeners to the podcast. Hello, guys. And I don't mean this in any way to be disrespectful, but this is a classic example of male entitlement, that men are not socialised to feel bad for taking up space. And yet women, yes, that is a negative, that we are socialised to feel bad for taking up space, and we probably would have apologised. But the positive of women is that women would have had more common sense, and now I'm just generalising ridiculously, so I'm going to stop. Anyway, so I get down to the car park, find my way to the car. By the by, I'd got out at the wrong level because I was so just discombobulated. Anyway, get back in, walk up the stairs, find the car, and I'm driving out of the car park thinking about this situation and that I'm going to do a road ramble. And what happens? I'm coming up a ramp, and another level of the car park is, the way this car park works is that another level of the car park departing cars joins on to this ramp. And there are mirrors there. I've used this car park heaps of time. This is why I know this is a fact. There are mirrors there so that cars that are merging onto the ramp are meant to give way to the cars that are already coming up the ramp from a lower level. And what happens? Another entitled man just rams his way onto the ramp, and I have to put my brakes on. Luckily, I wasn't going very fast to let him come onto the ramp and proceed up out of the car park. And again, I'm thinking, what is it with you blokes? Seriously, get over yourselves. Anyway, that's my being episode for this week, and apologies that I can't remember what number I'm up to. I know it's in the high 70s, and I hope you're having a good week, because I am just going to drop this episode today on Friday my time, so you get a bit of a chuckle for the end of your week. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that rant and road ramble. Cheers. Thanks for listening to today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see the show notes, head over to my website. It would be great if you haven't already done so. If you enjoyed the show, if you could kindly go to iTunes and leave a review. It helps other people find the show. Thanks for listening, and have a great week.